Today marks 1400, 14 days share lessons and learn and continue to learn with you. I hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about the version of you, of the person that you want to become, and what do we need to know. I think sometimes it's easy to understand, okay, we need to develop things, to really work on our skills, our knowledge, our wisdom. There's so many things to do to really become the best version of ourselves. And today I really want to focus on the same topic, but as less into action. And I think sometimes we need to really look into what else do we need to do to really become the best version of ourselves. And today I'll focus more on psychological level. What do we need to do to understand ourselves? The awareness side. And really what you potentially could really look rather on external things, what we're able to do. Maybe there is something that we could do internally just to make sure that we're able to become the best version of ourselves. So the first and probably one of the most important core truth that we need to learn is that we were born whole. We were born whole. We were born authentic. We were born with the gifts, with the abilities. There are so many things that we are already given. And I think that sometimes we forget that we are whole. And because we go through life and there's some mistakes, some bad people, there's toxic relationships, toxic environments, toxic behaviors. There's so many things that toxic with that toxicity can sometimes really stop on of understanding ourselves. And sometimes we believe that we are broken. Maybe we are not fully complete. And we'll start to look how we can able to complete, and then we look for other people completion, and that leads to even worse relationships, and we even more fragmented. And I think that sometimes we need to understand that the core truth and come back to the whole truth that we're born with, that we are authentic, we are unique, we are special, we are whole, we're not broken. I think that's the beginning of growth, understanding that you're totally complete. Sometimes it could be that even thought about that you're complete, that you are content, could be uncomfortable because you've been thinking about yourself for so long that there's so many things to get improved. And sometimes being able to really be content and be grateful, appreciative of who you already are, I think that is very, very, very important. Because remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. That's a beautiful, beautiful thought or sentence, a quote. Remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. That's very powerful, because I think that sometimes when we allow the world, anyone around us, to tell who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do, I think at that moment we shrink. And really want to be the best version of ourselves, we need to really remind ourselves that and ask ourselves who I was before I allowed someone else to really tell me who I supposed to be. Sometimes it would be lucky that who the person who told you what you're supposed to be, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. But that is again very small fraction of the people, because most people have no idea what is your vision, and then of course they not know what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to be and what kind of character traits you're supposed to develop right now. So the core truth, always remember that we are whole and we are able to really understand what you're supposed to do. I think that when we think that we're not whole, sometimes we really start taking actions that doesn't feel aligned. Number two, that the layers that hide your best self. That is number two. I think that it's very, very important to understand that if we want to become the best version of ourselves, we need to remove some layers. And what are those layers? The first layer, of course, one of the easiest to understand, is fear. Fear. That means that we want to really do right things. We want to really achieve great things in a lot of different areas, but the fear is stopping us. It might be that we have amazing skill set in something, but fear is stopping us to really executing on that skill set, executing on that knowledge, executing on that wisdom. So fear of rejection, of misunderstanding, could be that is hiding such a beautiful part of us. Sometimes we are afraid even to show who we truly are, because sometimes we think that we'll be not accepted. So that means we put our mask on our face rather than really developing our true life. Limiting beliefs. there's one other layer that is stopping us to become the best version of ourselves, and then the sayings that we have that we tell ourselves, the stories that we tell ourselves, are the things that are stopping us. That means I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. People like me don't achieve success like this. People were coming from my direction, and I think that this is, again, we need to understand that if we want to become the best version of ourselves, we need to learn and teach ourselves to really sometimes stop listening to ourselves, sometimes telling yourself what needs to be told. It's such an interesting thing that we're able to have full-blown conversation with ourselves. We're able to listen to ourselves. We're able to ask questions to ourselves. We're able to tell and really make sure that we have a communication. And next one is unconscious patterns, and that is coping mechanisms, and maybe habits that build on survival rather than striving. And I think that it's very, very important to look into what kind of routines, patterns do we have in place that we do not question. Maybe there is something that we do on a daily basis, and those habits and routines were built 10 years ago when we were in total different position, mentally, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and now we're looking to you are much better. So that means that the position that you are in needs to be adjusted. So the habits and routines need to be adjusted because you are better off. And sometimes we need to look into, like I said, those habits is pulling me backwards. And sometimes we can look into, okay, like last year I was in a better position than I am now. So what kind of patterns, routines, and habits do I do that is pulling me backwards? I need to change them. And sometimes ego attachments that really we seek some validation, acceptance of where we need to understand that the most important acceptance we need to seek is our own acceptance, our own validation, and other people is just the bonus. So number 3 is the shift. And this is the question that we ask, like, how do I become better? That's a good question. That's a truly good question. But I think that's what we're able to really sometimes ask to really have a great question is, what is blocking me from being fully myself? What is blocking me from being fully myself? And I know that just I've been not myself. I have seen myself being different kind of person in different rooms. And that means that I'm not developing my full authentic me. So I'm wasting my time developing different kind of persons. I'm wasting my time of developing my mask rather than my true myself, authentic myself. And I think that that's again stopping me from and becoming the best version of myself the faster. And the beautiful thing is the best version of myself. There's unachievable. The best version of ourselves is still always will be a little bit ahead. It's beautiful to pursue that version. It's beautiful to pursue that unachievable goal. You get closer and closer and closer. And I think that's it's beautiful looking to backwards, like, wow, how much farther I moved because I was pursuing the best version of myself. But at the same time, sometimes you need to understand that when we want to pursue that best version of ourselves, there's some kind of wall, some kind of pattern, some kind of things is in front of me that is actually stopping me from going through. So it could be that I need to ask, say that what are those blocks? And we already discussed those fear. That means, okay, how we could really change that block of fear to really courage, to willingness, to confidence, to aspirations. Replace doubt with curiosity, with resourcefulness, with better questions. Replace external validation with really alignment, inner alignment, and being able to have so much awareness of yourself, that clarity. And I think that one of the best analogies I always found it, when you do not have clarity, it's like almost like driving a car in a massive fog. There's turns and you're slowing down, and because you don't have the clarity where to go, because you don't see much. But when you have self-awareness, when you have clarity, and really moving with that clarity, you're able to move very fast. So that means it's like driving in a beautiful day, sun shining, blue skies, totally straight road, and you're just driving as fast as you can. And that's the difference between having self-doubt and no clarity whatsoever, and having clarity and moving through life. So when you think about achieving best version of ourselves, it's not just about taking action, but at the same time asking what's blocking me and how to remove those blocks out of my life so I could really press the gas pedal and move as fast as I can. And then the last one thing that I want to mention is number 4 is daily path. And I think that we need to really always check how we're doing regarding the growth of what becoming. And there's 3 checks I want to really look into. Is true check. Truth check. So, did they really, did I betray myself today? Or did I avoid conflict? Did I seek approval? Or did I actually did everything in alignment with myself? Because I think that's very, very important to understand where the truth is, where the truth lies. Did you were right today? Did you were wrong today? Did you were, because I think that sometimes we able to do the wrong thing. And I think that we able to really check that. How often do you make actions with alignment rather than to be seem um, maybe even perfect? I think sometimes we able to do wrong things for the sometimes we're able to do the right things for the wrong reasons. And I think that sometimes we're able to do wrong things for the right reasons. So first one is true. Second is courage check. And I think that sometimes we're able to did I do something today courageously? Did I take actions with confidence? Did I do something that was hard and I used my courage? Because I think that's very beautiful thing is that when there is said that one of the best ways to grow yourself is do something every single day that scares you, that you potentially have fear of doing it, and that courage compounds. And I think that's one of the best ways to become the best version of yourself is by doing something courageous every single day. I'm guilty of that. I don't do every single day something that scares me, and that's exactly where I'm working to really become the best version of myself is to really develop so much courage and ability to really remove that fear out of your life that you could do every single day something that scares you. And number three, in gratitude check, and this is a probably really pretty proud of myself, is that what part of myself did I honor today? What you grateful? What you appreciative? And I think that that's the beautiful thing when you fall asleep as well, thinking all the things that you're grateful for. And I think that is again when you think about the best version of yourself. I think one of the most important parts is really being grateful, because I really love the saying, and I will keep repeating that, is that what you appreciate appreciates. If you appreciate growth, you'll have more of it. If you do not appreciate, if you hate how fast, slow you grow, that means that you will have more of it. So what you focus on, that's what increases. And again, when you focus on gratefulness, when you focus on being grateful and honoring yourself, I think that allows you to have that attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude is attitude that really allows us to attract better things in our lives and really grow faster. So I hope you reflect as well, because today was more that when you want to become the best version of yourself, it's not just about taking action, but about looking into what kind of actions could I do internally just to remove all the blocks so I could become the best version of myself. Because sometimes, rather than going externally doing all those things, sometimes you need to go internally and you remove all the blocks just to make sure that we're able to become the best version of ourselves. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.